Welcome to the 2020 Grow Cedar Valley Annual Celebration. Brought to you from the KWWO studios, tonight's premier sponsor is Community Bank and Trust.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Abby Turpin, news anchor at KWWL.
Hi, and I'm John Huff, station manager at KWWL.
It is our true pleasure to host this year's awards for Grow Cedar Valley's annual celebration. KWWL is a proud platinum sponsor.
Now, of course, like so many things this year, it looks a little different.
Yeah, that's very true. We miss having everyone together at the normal big event that's held each year, but we are excited to still be able to hold the awards right here on the CW 7.2. Now, there are so many people who make the Cedar Valley such a wonderful place to live. I am very proud to call the Cedar Valley home, and I know you are too, John.
Absolutely. As a lifelong resident of the Cedar Valley, I certainly am as well. It's the best place to raise a family and to thrive on so many different levels. And tonight is the night to recognize and honor those who helped make that possible. To begin this evening, here's Grow Cedar Valley CEO and President, Cary Darrah.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us as we recognize some truly amazing businesses and individuals who've made a difference in the Cedar Valley. As President and CEO of Grow Cedar Valley, we, like you, have had to pivot quickly to adapt to the changing landscape of how we communicate and how we do business. I'm exceptionally proud of the team at Grow Cedar Valley who have put everything aside temporarily in order to help our businesses and community adjust to this changing world. So thank you, staff team, and our Grow Cedar Valley Board of Directors and volunteers for your leadership as we pick up and strengthen the reins to show that the Cedar Valley is the best place to grow your business, our economy, and your life. But tonight, it's all about the award-winning businesses and individuals who have helped shape and guide our community. In addition to these award winners, special thanks also go to our sponsors who've contributed in order to bring this event to you. Our premier sponsor is Community Bank and Trust. Our platinum sponsors, Amperage Marketing and Fundraising and KWWL. Our gold sponsors, the Community Foundation of Northeast Iowa, ISG, Lincoln Savings Bank, Mercy One, Rydell Chevrolet, and our silver sponsors, Health Partners Unity Point Health, POS, Professional Office Services, Viridian Credit Union, Unity Point Health, and Western Home Communities. It is exciting to celebrate all of the achievements on our award recipients this year. It has been challenging for many, and taking time to reflect and celebrate our successes is crucial to growing and moving forward. I'm excited to announce that we are continuing the celebration. Visit our website to learn how you can be part of the celebration moving forward. Share your story and be a part of growing the Cedar Valley. And now I'll turn the show back to Abby and John. Again, thank you for helping us make this night and event special and absolutely what these winners deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Cary. As Cary mentioned, so many sponsors made tonight's awards possible. A big thank you again to Community Bank and Trust, the premier sponsor this evening.
Yeah, it truly wouldn't be possible without them. Right now, we do want to introduce the current chairman and incoming chairman of the Board of Directors.
Chris Faraday from PDCM Insurance and Brian Ernest from Amperage Marketing and Fundraising.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Faraday, and I'm president of PDCM Insurance and serving as the current board chair for Grow Cedar Valley. Welcome to our annual awards.
And I'm Brian Ernest, president of Amperage Marketing and Fundraising, and I had the honor and privilege to serve as board chair for Grow Cedar Valley this past year. We'd like to thank you all for being with us tonight and like to congratulate this year's award winners. It has certainly been a challenging year for the Cedar Valley and for our Grow Cedar Valley staff, learning how to connect with the business community in a more virtual way.
In addition to congratulating all of our event winners, we'd like to thank all of our investors for their support, their patience, their flexibility with us in this most trying time. And we look forward to celebrating innovation that continues to happen around the Cedar Valley, as we have much to be proud of heading into the coming year. So with that, please join me in moving on and celebrating our annual awards.
Thanks so much, Chris and Brian. Brian in particular, thank you for your service to the board, and also for Amperage Marketing and Fundraising, being a platinum sponsor for tonight. A lot of the videos you'll see tonight were produced by Amperage. So now let's let the awards begin.
All right, here we go. Now, the first award tonight is the Economic Inclusion Award.
This recognizes a business or organization for their continued support of diversity and inclusion in the workplace. It's sponsored tonight by Green State Credit Union.
And the recipient is Friendship Village.
Community is very, very important to us. It is one of our core values. So having a community feel is what we want here, and we want to be part of the bigger picture in the Cedar Valley. Friendship Village is a continuum of care. We have independent living, assisted living, home health, and nursing available for those in retirement here. We really just want them to have a fulfilled life.
When we think about inclusion, we think about respect, we think about involvement, we think about just making sure that everyone is included, and that's what we saw here at Friendship Village. We were impressed on how they treat their residents, how the employees treat their residents. We were impressed with a lot of their programs and processes that they have in place.
We foster inclusion and diversity in our staff by offering them a lot of educational opportunities, the ability to grow here at Friendship Village. We have approximately 350 employees. We, spend a lot of time hiring the right person for the right job.
They have a program where you can actually live here and the rent is really low while you're taking classes, and then once you graduate, you would have a job here.
I've been here for 15 years. I love this place. I worked in every different area, every different department in nursing area. Anytime we have somebody that's a new employee in my department and all the other departments, I will personally take time to introduce that person to every single person that's working that day. So we're doing really anything that we possibly can to make sure that those people feel included and that they feel welcome. My motto always is to have happy employees. I think if you have happy employees, you will have happy residents.
As we were walking through the hallway, staff members would greet us. There wasn't anyone that we passed by that didn't speak to us at all. So we were very impressed by that. We were impressed by the diversity that we've seen in the staff.
We really have every possible diverse group that we have in Waterloo here in Friendship Village. And I think part of the reason why people like that want to work at Friendship Village is because I think they really feel welcomed. We give a same opportunity to everybody, no matter who you are and where you come from.
When we instantly walked in where the residents were, it was just a feeling of acceptance. It was a friendly, family feeling atmosphere.
We have our new child care center across the street on West 9th Street. Offering that to the community and our own employees not only helps us attract new employees, but really fulfills a need in the community. It's a way of giving back.
One thing that we saw at Friendship Village is how they merge the different generations.
Friendship Village actually lives diversity and inclusion of different staff and people from different walks of life. Receiving an award like that, I think, will really help us along to continue to have a good reputation. It's very exciting, but to us, the biggest reward is a happy family member, a happy resident.
We're very honored to receive the Inclusion and Diversity Award, and we feel that we're a good partner in the community and we want to continue that.
Accepting the award tonight is Sherry Turner, the Health Services Executive Director and Vice President.
We're really excited to get this award. We really appreciate Grow Cedar Valley for giving us this award. Diversity and inclusion is very important to Friendship Village, and we are a strong family of employees, and that has served us very well and helps us take care of those residents, and we're just really honored to get this award.
The next award is the Cedar Valley Partner Award. This award recognizes the efforts of an education institution, nonprofit organization, service club, or human service agency in promoting economic growth and employment, quality of life, offering leadership to the Cedar Valley and its citizens on a continuing basis or with a specific project. The recipient tonight is Allen College Unity Point Health.
Allen College started out as a diploma school of nursing in 1925 when the hospital was open. We only offer the courses related to the majors that we have, so nursing and health sciences programs. You can't come to Allen College and take a philosophy course. You can't come to Allen College and take a chemistry course. And for us, that allows us to focus specifically on our bread and butter, which is healthcare education. We are dependent upon other area institutions of higher education to provide that general education experiences for the students. So we have partnerships with Hawkeye Community College, the University of Northern Iowa, Wartburg College, and those are just our local partners. We have other partner schools across the state. And really we've created these win-win situations where students can go to UNI or Wartburg or Hawkeye for 2 or 3 years, get their general education done, transfer to Allen College.
I did my undergrad at University of Northern Iowa, and I found that Allen College had a really good partnership with UNI, so it made the transition here really simple. I was not the person I was in undergrad than I am today because Allen College has really pushed me to step out of my boundaries and get into different things, getting more involved, more experience within the community and volunteering.
We can only do so much in the classroom with case studies and lectures and examples from the instructors. It's those experiences in dealing with patients and families and critical thinking that happens in that clinical setting that really helps those students to understand why they're doing what they're doing. We have service learning kind of thread throughout our curriculum here as well. So not only are our students going out and doing service, but there's a learning component with that also.
The value of the partnerships that we have across the Cedar Valley is it gives us an opportunity to retain our graduates once they graduate from Allen College, and we want them to stay within the community. If we didn't have our local partnerships and we had to send our students a distance away to get their clinical education like Cedar Rapids or Des Moines, it's less likely that we'll be able to retain them to come work here.
We know what our partners expect of us before we even send students. We know what we expect of our students before sending them to the agency. Usually once we establish a relationship or a partnership with a community site, we can continue to partner with them and reach out, hey, do you have any of this type of experience that we could help you with? Or do you have any needs aside from what we've already done with you to kind of help continue to grow the partnership and make it stronger?
Allen has really put their name out there in any kind of category that you want. And I found if you want to get involved with someone that we don't have a partnership or anything with, Allen College makes it really simple to try and work towards a potential partnership.
We want to be the model for what a partnership looks like across the Cedar Valley, where we can put aside our competitive differences and really try to do what's best for our community, where we're not duplicating services, we're not trying to compete with other organizations. That if our ultimate goal is to make sure that our community is strong and thriving, we have to all work together regardless of what our affiliations are to make sure that we're doing what's best for the citizens of our community.
Accepting the award tonight is President Jared Seliger.
So I'd like to thank Grow Cedar Valley for honoring Allen College with the Grow Cedar Valley Partner of the Year Award. We're certainly very thrilled at Allen College. Our faculty, staff, and students go above and beyond to produce exceptional healthcare workers for the Cedar Valley. And we couldn't do this without the tremendous amount of support that we get from all of the organizations across the Cedar Valley. We have partnerships with educational institutions like University of Northern Iowa, Hawkeye Community College, Wartburg College. We have partnerships with a lot of healthcare organizations, certainly Unity Point Health, with Allen College being part of Unity Point Health. They're an integral partner for us to be able to deliver healthcare education to our students, but we send our students across the Cedar Valley to get their clinical education and become excellent healthcare practitioners for the Cedar Valley. We also have other organizations that we partner with. A great example is our partnership with the Salvation Army with our ASAP Free Clinic. That's been a great partnership that's going on 10 years. So we're really excited to be recognized as being a partner in the Cedar Valley. We do a lot of great things at Allen College, but what is utmost importance is to make sure that we have exceptional nurses, lab techs, radiographers, therapists who are in the Cedar Valley and providing exceptional health care to the citizens of our community. That's what Allen College is about. I always say that if you have any health care in the Cedar Valley, there is very good odds that you've had an Allen College graduate delivering your health care. So we're certainly very proud of what we do for our community, and we're thankful for Grow Cedar Valley, Cary, Darrah, the board at Grow Cedar Valley for recognizing Allen College for this spectacular award. We're certainly thrilled to be able to represent Grow Cedar Valley, and we're very proud to be a member of this community.
The Cedar Valley Innovation Award recognizes the efforts of a private sector firm for innovation in technology, advanced manufacturing, or talent development. This award is sponsored by LockNet Managed IT, and the recipient is POS Professional Office Services.
We do a variety of things. We are a printing company, but we also spend a lot of time helping physicians collect their patient-owed balances. Everything from soup to nuts in that regard.
We live in what we call the patient life cycle. We say, how do you onboard new patients? And we have products to do that. It might be mailing them a packet to fill out all their patient history at the convenience of their coffee table. Diagnostic literature after you're in for a visit. And then after you've been in a visit, you get billed. We're that company that sends out millions, literally millions of statements to patients every month. In doing so, we try to bring efficiency to that to help lower outstanding AR. And we also allow technology to come into play.
We started back in 1970, so we're celebrating our 50th anniversary, which we're very excited about. We started over on Rainbow Drive here in Waterloo. We moved here in 1972, and we've just grown within the physician practice throughout the years. We have what they call a white paper factory now, but it allows us to take a patient statement right from white paper out the door. Where in the past we had to run shells or invoices on a press and then run it through a black printer. The IP5000 allows us to take all of our volume from all of our manufacturing facilities and bring them all to Waterloo with this machine. And it prints the variable data and the color data of a patient statement in one pass out of a roll of paper. It cuts it, it folds it, it inserts it, and it gets it into the mail stream within 24 hours of us receiving the data.
We've had to be an innovator in our field. A third of our revenues were from those color code filing, those pretty charts that were on a wall. We had to find new business models because those charts went to electronic health records and went to tablets. So we have always been an innovator because we've had to be an innovator.
Are we innovative from an equipment perspective? No, there are a lot of other people that have the same equipment that we have, but we're really innovative from a sales perspective. We've got this sales force that we believe is really important in making us successful. It's something we had 50 years ago, and it's something that we grow every year.
I've been around this company a long time, and we're on a second generation ownership. A type of ownership that's very humble. That means through the years, we kind of keep our head low. We go to work, we don't draw attention to ourselves, so we're never seeking these bright lights. So it is a unique situation for us to be in.
It allows me to go back to the people here at POS and thank them, and to show them that the work that they're doing is appreciated and recognized. I don't think of ourselves as a real high-end innovative company. But then when I look back, I think we've come a long ways in 50 years. So this just gives me an opportunity to thank them and to recognize them for their hard work.
Accepting is Travis Heimbuck, their corporate marketing director.
The history of our success is largely due to the talent and dedication of our employees. Their willingness to be adaptive and their commitment to growth is why we're here today. And speaking of growth, POS is celebrating our 50th year in the Cedar Valley this year. And we're going to be celebrating with our 125 local employees, our 300 employees across the country that help us manufacture our print product, implement our electronic solutions, and also develop software. We've come a long ways over the last 50 years. We started as a printer, and today POS is working with over 10,000 medical practices, clinics, and healthcare systems from coast to coast. Thanks again, Grow Cedar Valley, and we look forward to the next 50 years.
Right now, we want to talk more about Grow Cedar Valley. It was on March 26th of last year that the Greater Cedar Valley Alliance and Chamber became Grow Cedar Valley.
At the time, CEO Darrah said, and I quote, "We need to create an environment to attract new businesses as well as attract a workforce to grow our existing businesses. You can't have a strong business community without the economic inclusion and quality of life initiatives that foster a vibrant community." Now, the process for defining that new brand was not taken lightly, and it did take some time. Darrah said extensive research was conducted to develop the new mission, vision, purpose statement, and also the 3-year plan.
So at the time, Amperage Marketing and Fundraising put together this video to explain the new brand.
Whether you're growing your business, growing your children, growing your faith, growing is a real integral part of moving progressively. So Grow Cedar Valley encompasses the feeling that we know that we could bring to our business community and ultimately the quality of life and the community development side of what we do.
So many organizations aren't willing to evolve, and if you're going to grow, you're going to have to change. And if you're unwilling to change, you're not going to grow.
15 years ago, we were strictly focused on getting new business. And where we've come to today from listening to our members and investors, it's workforce development. That's number one. So that's a task that will be going on with an eye and an ear open to existing business growth and new business.
Grow Cedar Valley is expected to be the leader in our community to bring the business community and those who are doing community development all together in a sense of collaboration to really help the Cedar Valley thrive.
We're no longer just competing city versus city. We're competing with other regions throughout the state and across the Midwest. So that workforce, that talent recruitment, the creating one of the greatest environments for businesses to thrive is absolutely important to our long-range future.
Grow Cedar Valley, just in the name alone, indicates that it's about growth, and that can be in various sectors of the Cedar Valley. And as they all come together, whether it's government, nonprofit, capital, businesses, quality of life, all the stakeholders involved, that's how we're going to grow the Cedar Valley.
If you don't recognize how important it is to keep the health of the community vibrant and thriving, then your business is going to falter because of that. We're one community, and we have to thrive together.
I'm excited about the opportunity for us to build on the shoulders of those that went before us. And whether it's the old Waterloo Chamber, the old Cedar Falls Chamber, all of those that have made this a place where we all want to call it home.
What the Greater Cedar Valley Alliance and Chamber did in the past, that was great. I mean, what they brought together was the right thing at the right time. This is the next step in that evolution, and I'm excited about it.
It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start, and I think we as staff were ready for that.
We know that we need to demonstrate to the business community as well as the quality of life projects in our community that marrying those two concepts are important. And that's what we do. We bring business leaders in the community together so that we can create additional opportunities for both sides to grow.
It's like a cheer almost. Grow Cedar Valley. And I look at grow as a verb, do something, you know.
Growing is always a forward look, And so in that forward look, we have the opportunity to create. And to create things is really only limited by our imagination.
Grow Cedar Valley.
Grow Cedar Valley.
Grow Cedar Valley.
Grow Cedar Valley.
Grow Cedar Valley. Crecer el Valle del Cedro. Grow Cedar Valley.
Grow Cedar Valley. Join us.
Okay, we're at a point where we're going to take a little break in the action tonight, so stay with us.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the 2020 Grow Cedar Valley Annual Celebration. Once again, here are Abby Turpin and John Huff.
The John Deere Treating Capital Well Award recognizes the efforts of a private sector firm for a significant investment in the Cedar Valley that most emphasizes the attributes of the Cedar Valley.
Yeah, and those are building green and sustainable technologies, innovative talent recruitment and training, and also new tech jobs. This award is sponsored by John Deere Waterloo Operations.
The recipient tonight is Venu Event Center, Holiday Inn and Suites, Open Door Hospitality.
Venu started as a way of open door hospitality, giving back to the community. A need was identified in the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area for an event space of this magnitude. And Rena O'Toole and the rest of the family decided, you know what, we're going to build one. So it started with a conversation in a boardroom, and that conversation turned into a plan, and then the plan turned into what we're sitting in today.
And we had a lot of meetings with the architect and the builder before this project even really got started. And a lot of that was long-term viability and sustainability, and just making sure that this was a project that was going to last and continue to look good for the Cedar Valley.
There was a need, another center close by, stopped doing business, and then another center that's been aging and has become less of an option for local companies, created a need for a newer, larger event space in the Cedar Valley area. We had companies that no longer looked at the area, events statewide that didn't look at the area. And so we want to bring new events to the area and give local companies another option to hold their events here.
We have 14,000 square feet of event space, 9,000 square feet of just the pre-function space, and then we have 4 different outdoor courtyards for the hotel and for the event center. The hotel has 126 rooms, huge amounts of suites, 2 presidential suites, and the lobby is fantastic. A lot of thought was put into every square foot of this building. We, as a group, feel like we need to give back to the community and be sustainable as well. So everything that we do has that in mind. From the products that we have in the hotel rooms, the products that we use in the kitchen and the restaurant, all have that green, eco-friendly focus.
The design process was to make the experience for the guest unique and memorable, to make them leave and feeling like they had an experience that they want to have again. We've tried to create a space where the guest almost has unlimited options. We can divide the 14,000 square feet into 6 different meeting rooms of varying sizes so we can hold multiple events at the same time. If the guests are having a meeting or a seminar in one of the meeting rooms, we can lift these doors and it exposes the pre-function space to all of the guests in there, so that trade shows, the vendors are all part of the event.
This is a project that you would typically see in much larger cities, Des Moines, Minneapolis, or Chicago, and it's a drawing card for the Cedar Valley. It's something I think we desperately needed. We're going to be able to attract some events that otherwise wouldn't come to this area. That's going to benefit the community as a whole.
To receive the John Deere Treating Capital Well Award is just an amazing honor. We have put a lot of time and effort into this building, and we just appreciate that that was actually received. People understand what was put into it and know that we're going to be here for a very long time to take care of their needs.
Accepting the award is owner Atul Patel.
I appreciate being awarded for this Holiday Inn and Venu Event Center. It's been an exciting project. And one thing led to another thing, and this project has been very instrumental for open door hospitality. It's gonna be a big economic impact to the Cedar Valley as a whole, and we're looking forward to have this venue to host a lot of functions, events, to bring the new ones as well as to bring the old ones back, and we want people to stay. It's going to be a great place to bring travel and tourism and promote its cause. So thank you, Cary, and thank you everyone for making this project and awarding this project with the investment in mind. And also we are looking forward to grow out of this one and do more of the investment in the communities just to promote the cause. So as on behalf of the Open Door Hospitality, we thank you very much for just making sure that this project is successful as well as it makes an economic impact like it's supposed to be. So thank you very much again.
Before we get to the next award, we once again want to mention more of our sponsors who made tonight possible.
Yeah, tonight's gold sponsors are the Community Foundation of Northeast Iowa, ISG, Lincoln Savings Bank, Mercy One, and Rydell Chevrolet.
And tonight's silver sponsors are Health Partners, Unity Point Health, POS Professional Office Services, Veridian Credit Union, Unity Point Health, and Western Home Communities.
The Cedar Valley Business of the Year Award recognizes the efforts of a business with 1 to 50 employees in promoting the quality of life and offering leadership within the Cedar Valley, and achieving a major business accomplishment or making an outstanding contribution to the Cedar Valley community, economy, and citizens. It's sponsored tonight by Eric Johnson of Beecher Law. The recipient is ISG.
ISG started like all great businesses in somebody's basement. 2 individuals, Eisengrad, Serpernot, that's IS Group. Started the company back in 1973. Now we have 320 employees in 4 different states.
We are architects, interior designers, civil engineers, mechanical, electrical engineers, technology, landscape architects. The list goes on. We have many disciplines and we work throughout the nation.
We at ISG are an employee-owned company. As an employee at ISG, I'm also an owner of ISG, and that creates a really unique sense of pride in our work.
I love our culture. We are really close with one another. It's kind of like a family. All of our 10 offices, each office has its own personality.
ISG plays a huge role in shaping the community. You think in terms of just physically shaping the landscape of what this city looks like to the eye, but then there's also the fact of how they're shaping the community in terms of what they're doing as leaders.
We quite literally help shape the community here with our physical built environments that we work on. As an architect, I design spaces for communities, for businesses, for ultimately people, and it's the experience of those people in those spaces that I'm helping to influence, and influence in a positive way.
With the experience I've had with ISG, I always know that they're not only looking at the dependability to do what's right in terms of code and what they have to do by the book, they're also taking into consideration the community and what's the right thing to do for this client and how it is involved in the community.
ISG encourages its employees to get involved in the community, and we do that here in the Cedar Valley with a lot of different volunteer opportunities that we capitalize on.
Just really trying to get out there, network within the community, get to know people, get to understand, the way people live and what people are looking for in the community.
You look at the different community events that they sponsor and the role in the ESOP organization that they've done in this community. And then you look at the major contribution that they've given this community by helping formulate the structure through maybe a tough time and really making it a model for what companies can do moving forward. And so for those reasons, I think they're more than deserving of the Business of the Year award.
To receive that award, I think is, a great recognition of what we are trying to do and what we stand for and what we're wanting to do in the Cedar Valley.
Accepting tonight is Tim Verheyen
So on behalf of ISG, I want to thank Cary and all of the staff at Grow Cedar Valley for everything that they do for this community, from recruiting new businesses to making it a better place to work and live. I also want to thank our staff, not only the 310 other employee owners at ISG, but specifically our local staff. They give back not only through innovative design, but also give of their time and invest in numerous charitable organizations. We've only been here 2.5 years, 3 years, but it's been great, and we're just getting started and looking forward to bigger and better things. Thanks.
This Cedar Valley Business of the Year Award recognizes the efforts of a business with 51 employees or more. This recognizes promoting the quality of life and offering leadership within the Cedar Valley, achieving a major business accomplishment, or making an outstanding contribution to the Cedar Valley community, economy, and citizens. And the recipient is Crystal Distribution Services.
Here at Crystal Distribution Services, what we do is handle perishable food products for our customers. We don't own any of the product. We safeguard it for our different customers, that from raw materials to finished goods.
We provide them storage, whether it be freezer or cooler. From then, we ship out product as well.
Rath Packing went out of business, and we were able to make a deal with the city to take over some of the buildings that were usable for cold storage. We retrofitted the facilities, several of the buildings here.
Crystal's success is important to the city of Waterloo because, this is a brownfield area. As the former Rath site, it's vitally important to our history to see redevelopment down here in a challenged area of the community to bring jobs back to this area. In a way, Rath is the city of Waterloo. If you think about the city, we were the factory city of Iowa. We were all about manufacturing. We were all about smokestacks. We were all about our ag economy. And that's really what Crystal is preserving this area with their investment.
Revamping the Rath building is very important to this community. That's been an icon since the turn of the century.
We have an obligation to maintain that Rath connection because obviously we're on the site, and the city has done a nice job with some of the things around the neighborhood with incorporating some of the old Rath emblems and that kind of thing. It just makes sense that we can keep that going. Our employees are fantastic. The work ethic and the quality of workers that we do have in this area are fantastic.
The culture here is definitely more family oriented. We're not a large company, so we're a little bit tight-knit of a group.
We've got a lot of long-term people, and I think that's a large part of our success. People come in and they love the business, and they know they do a good job and always willing to learn and adapt.
Crystal, above all, has shown a lot of passion for their business, for their site location, for the community that they're in, as well as perseverance. Year after year, they're doing things to improve their campus, to expand, to build more buildings, to hire more people. So, they're just an all-around great company to have here and to continue to grow the community.
To receive the Business of the Year award from Grow Cedar Valley is very humbling.
It's really nice to be recognized for that, and the fact that we've been able to expand our business in this area. It's a great location, love the people, love our customers, but to be recognized like this is extremely nice, and we're very appreciative of it.
Accepting tonight is President Tom Poe.
Being selected as the Business of the Year by Grow Cedar Valley is really a great honor for us. Crystal's roots go back to the late 1800s when we used to cut ice off the Cedar River. And we've evolved over the years by adapting just to what our customers need. So we try to be flexible and take care of them that way. When I first started in 1979, I really wasn't sure how things would work out. But after more than 40 years of working with people that care, have a great work ethic, and take pride in what they do, it's fantastic to see what we've accomplished. Being able to use the former Rath Packing site to help grow our business has really been wonderful. It's been really helpful to have a supportive city staff assisting us along the way as well. And our growth comes primarily from existing customers, and in addition to refrigerated warehousing services only, We also offer food packaging, processing, and export services. As I mentioned, we have a devoted team of long-term employees that show up every day in this freezing environment, acting as if they're the owners of the business. And our customers know that we take great care of their products and that we will make sure to do our part to ensure a good, safe delivery of food from the farm to our tables. So our employees, customers, along with the assistance of the local economic development team, have helped us to get where we are. And we intend to take advantage of any new opportunities that come along and continue to grow in this community. So thank you again for acknowledging our company with all of our employees, and we look forward to continuing to move forward. Thanks.
What a great night so far, and we're so glad to honor all of these recipients so far tonight. We wish we could be in person like we were last year, but of course we can't, and we're glad to be televising this tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. 2020, obviously, quite a year. Unprecedented is the word we've used many times. One thing that we mentioned earlier is about how Cedar Valley is such a great place to raise a family, to thrive in so many ways. I myself, my family, and I love it here. We've been here just a little over 3 years. And John, I know that this is where you're from. This is how many years now? Are you going to tell us?
Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you how many years, but yes, the Cedar Valley is a great place, and I'm so proud to be from the Cedar Valley, and of course proud to be here tonight, and of course represent the station and my family, and we're looking forward to the rest of the evening here. So the next award is the Cedar Valley Business Leader Award.
Yeah, this recognizes an outstanding contribution by an individual in the private sector for leadership in creating and strengthening regional collaboration and cooperation for economic and community development.
Sponsored by PDCM Insurance, the recipient is Aspro President Milt Dakovich.
I would describe Milt as an honest, super integrity person who was a pleasure to do business with.
He shouldn't be Milt Dakovich. His name should be Milt, middle name Dakovich, last name What a Nice Guy. He should be Milt Dakovich, What a Nice Guy. He's just a tremendous man, great family man, good friend, obviously successful businessman, done very well in the community and the state.
Back when I started in construction, when the guy could shake hands with 5 guys and put a job together, Milt was that kind of a person. When he gave you a quote, he stuck by it. When he said he'd be there, he stuck by it. And he was always there when we needed him.
I'm an old school guy. Be honest in your dealings. When you say something, do it. What you said is just as strong as any contract you could sign. And when you shake hands, that's just how it's going to be.
He's been there without pounding his chest, and will do things for people just out of the goodness of his heart and the goodness of the business. And so, you know, that's the kind of people that make things happen in the Cedar Valley.
I met Milt when the Homeland Volunteers started filling potholes 20-some years ago, and Milt would have his trucks, his huge trucks full of hot asphalt with the drivers and the shovels for all the volunteers. We had a map from the city. This was when we'd had a particularly bad winter of freeze-thaw. And just a group of volunteers decided to help. It was week after week for probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. And there was never any hesitation on Milt's part. Sure, when do you need them? Where do you need them? I'll get them. Let me know if you need more.
And we were trying to do a parking lot to get a job done, and it was lagging into December. And generally, the plant would have closed down probably in November. And he was putting asphalt down for us in December to make sure we got the job done and we got out of there. And that's something, you know, you always remember those kinds of things, you know, that people that come back in and have your back.
We weren't going to leave it hanging, because we were either going to get it done then or we would get it done in May, and that wasn't just going to work.
He's a leader in the community, and then that turns and is noticed such that he was nominated to be at the Board of Regents, and I think that said something about his participation.
It's been a tremendous opportunity for me to set policy for our 3 post-secondary schools and our 2 special schools. It's a big organization. You're looking at a $6 billion budget, 48,000 employees, 77,000 students. It's been a great opportunity for me to be involved in that kind of thing, and I hope made a difference.
Milt is a man that practices quiet kindness, and I think people that work for him want to do their very best so that Milt's proud of them. And I don't think he's a screamer and a yeller. He's, can you do this? Can you help me? Let's figure this out together. He's not one that needs the spotlight or headlines. He just wants to do what he knows he can do.
Well, you do a business with a lot of people, and you know, some good, some bad. And Milt's the good of the good, top of the heap type of personality. He was just never somebody that gave you a wrong steer.
I came to this community in 1977, you know, and the community made a place for me to grow and thrive, and I've made some wonderful friendships here. This is my home, and I owe a great debt of gratitude to this community and the folks in it. This is truly a great honor. You know, I was not born here. I grew up in Des Moines, went to school at Iowa State, and came here in 1977. I was 22 years old. This community allowed me to grow and thrive as we build our business. I have made many lifelong friendships here. Regardless of my growing up in Des Moines, I consider Waterloo and the Cedar Valley to be my home. I wasn't born here, but I was here long enough to remember when John Deere Downtown, Hinson Manufacturing, Chamberlain's, and the Rath Packing Company were all in business. My friends in Des Moines said that I was moving to a factory town. I was here to watch the construction of what was then called the Northeast Site, the current post office, and more recently the Gallagher Bluedorn Performing Arts Center. I was privileged to know both Gallagher and Bluedorn. The Dairy Cattle Congress was at the time the biggest event of the year. Time goes by and things change. While John Deere is still a huge presence in this town, I wouldn't call us a factory town anymore. We have grown, changed, and diversified with the times. It's hard to recognize the community of today compared to the 70s when I got here. I want to thank my friend Kathy McCoy for nominating me. I first learned of this when you called me, Cary, but then when I went to tell people about it, I was surprised to find out that virtually everybody in my family, my friends, and my work already knew. Kathy and Jean Lenhart shot a video for the event. I want to thank Jean also. I want to thank Grow Cedar Valley for the award and also for all the hard work the staff and volunteer citizens put in for the benefit of our communities. Whether it's business and economic development, legislative functions, educational opportunities, or a host of other things, Cary, Steve, Will, Wes, Jim, Betty, a vibrant board of directors, and all the rest are there working for the Cedar Valley. It really means a lot. I've been a part of the Lincoln Savings Bank now for a long time. I'd like to say how proud and excited we are to be taking over the top 3 floors of TechWorks Building 1. It's great for the bank and it's great for Waterloo. We should be occupying in 7 or 8 months. Stay tuned for a great grand opening that I sincerely hope is not virtual. Congratulations to Tim Hurley on receiving the Legacy Award and all the businesses that are receiving awards tonight. They are all well deserved. Thank you again.
All right, well, it was just a few moments ago, I think I said we were going to have more awards, but now we're near the end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe this is the final award of the evening, the Legacy Award. It recognizes an individual for their continued leadership and noteworthy contributions to the Cedar Valley.
This is done through philanthropy and volunteerism, working to create a positive environment for business expansion and community growth and enhancing the quality of life for talent recruitment and retention.
And the Legacy Award is sponsored by Wells Fargo Bank.
This year's recipient is none other than Tim Hurley.
This community has Tim Hurley's fingerprints all over it. So between being a 30-year employee or more at John Deere, serving on the city council, serving as mayor for a long time, on the boards of many of our nonprofit organizations. Most of them, he was chair of the board, and led those discussions and led those projects and those initiatives, always with the well-being of Waterloo and the Cedar Valley and wanting to make sure that people saw this community in the way it deserved.
Tim brings dedication, he brings inclusivity, he brings devotion, and I think he brings a lot of patience. It's Tim's style to make sure every other voice is heard, to bring the group along with him. So he's really a team builder, and that's been important for us at TechWorks.
There's not one thing that he wouldn't ask you to do that he's not willing to do himself. If he asks you to maybe try to support this particular board, he's already on that board or doing it. If he's asked to do a responsibility while he was mayor, it is something that he would have done himself. I think he's a true expression of leading by example, and that's exactly what we need.
You need all kinds of leaders, those at the prow, those in the middle manning the engine room and the kitchen, and then those in the rear who pick up the pieces. I'm a middle person. I'm a firm believer that any organization, whether it's organic or business or whatever, needs to continue growing. If you're not growing, you're withering or dying.
He loves this community. He grew up here, he's raised his family here. He has put every ounce of his energy into making sure that what goes on in Waterloo and the Cedar Valley is positive.
The city of Waterloo 15, 20 years ago had been through some tough times, and his work along the riverfront renaissance to continue that vision and dream, his work in culture and arts, and the foundation that he brings with leadership has been one that's been steady. So I'm actually proud that I'm able to stand on the shoulders of a Tim Hurley and my moving forward as mayor.
When I would first go to statewide meetings as a freshman mayor and introduce myself, oh my God, you're from Waterloo. Oh my God, I feel so badly for you, and what a mess you have up there, and that sort of thing. Within 2 or 3 years, the same people were coming to me and, Tim, Mayor, how did you do this? How are you doing that? Can we come up and see what's going on?
He has been a mentor, although I beat him, but what he has meant to me has been a confidential, confident mentor for me in this position. He's one of the best cheerleaders and advocates for the city of Waterloo and for me in my mayoralship time.
The Legacy Award is a recognition for someone who has demonstrated the vision and the notoriety and the humble nature of what someone who is in that position needs to put forward. So he is so deserving of the Legacy Award. Everything he does is something that will be noted for a long, long time and well-deserved.
Receiving the Legacy Award was a complete surprise to me, and it's very humbling, to be very honest. I deeply appreciate the recognition, but when I look back at previous winners, anybody could recognize what they contributed to the Cedar Valley, and I don't put myself in that same neighborhood at all. So I'm surprised and deeply, deeply appreciative.
The Legacy Award is a distinction that is awarded by the CEO of Grow Cedar Valley. It is for recognition of someone who has been a leader, a contributor, and a champion for the Cedar Valley. One who has already left a legacy with a positive and influential impact in our community. Tim Hurley has worn all of those hats and many more. In addition to serving on the Waterloo City Council and then mayor, Tim has either served on or chaired almost every board or committee contributing to the growth and success of Waterloo and the Cedar Valley. Over the years, especially as we served together on the TechWorks project, Tim and I have become friends, a friend I respect on every level. So while I want to celebrate his leadership and legacy with all of you, I'm most honored to call him friend. So congratulations, Tim, well deserved.
Thank you, Cary, and congratulations to all the other 2020 Annual Award recipients. I'm sincerely honored to receive this Legacy Award. In fact, I was entirely surprised when I first learned about it. It was one of those wah moments, as the kids might say. That I was nominated by Cary Darrah was just icing on the cake. I've known of Cary and her leadership, community service, and accomplishments long before we began working together on economic and community development in the Cedar Valley some 15 years ago. Her character and qualities have only grown in my mind over the years, and if I achieved her trust that resulted in this nomination, then I am supremely honored by that fact alone. Besides the deep sense of honor, I am ever more so deeply humbled by this recognition. When you look at the names, when I look at the names of the previous legacy recipients, it feels strange to realize that my name will be added to that list. Anyone in the community who looks at the names of the previous recipients will immediately recognize and know why they were honored. Their accomplishments and their importance to the health and growth of the Cedar Valley cannot be mistaken. These good men and women are singularly responsible for the development of our community and our economy, and their contributions of time, talent, and treasure continue to be felt today. It is not due to any false humility at all on my part to say again, what am I doing here in their company? All I can do is pledge that I will continue for as long as is possible to help make the Cedar Valley a better place to live, work, and play. My personal mission is to know someday that my colleagues and friends believe I deserved this recognition, and then finally that I feel I have earned it. Thank you so much.
We do want to recognize more sponsors that made tonight possible. Bank Iowa, Bloom Manufacturing, CUNA Mutual Group, Denver Savings Bank, Discerning Wealth, DuPaco Community Credit Union, and Financial Decisions Group.
Along with First National Bank, Great Western Bank, Hawkeye Community College, Isle Casino Hotel Waterloo, Mid-American Energy, Nagel Signs, PDCM Insurance, RSM US LLP, University of Northern Iowa, and the VGM Group. Well, Abby, how did it go?
Well, I think I did very well.
Well, I'm sure you think I ever get a chance to anchor with you maybe or something?
No, you and Ron would have to go head to head on that. I don't know.
Well, I think that does it for tonight and the 2020 Grow Cedar Valley Annual Celebration. Thank you to the sponsors and to those who joined in honoring the award recipients for their continued commitment and dedication to the Cedar Valley.
Congratulations to all of the winners. Now, we will have a full list of award recipients on our website, kwwl.com. And also, if you missed any of this special event tonight, we will have a link of tonight's awards as well.
Also, for more information on Grow Cedar Valley and all of the nonprofits' efforts to increase economic vitality throughout the year, visit growcedarvalley.com.
Thank you for joining us.
Good night.